93 Sports back with another one. So I initially wanted to do a video on this subject. I believe it was a few days ago when this fight was actually announced, but now we got the initial press conference for Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker on March 31st. We got the official press conference, so I can commentate on that. So leading up to the fight, Joseph Parker and his team were really emphasizing on Anthony Joshua's chin, and it seemed like it got under Anthony Joshua's skin. So I wanted to see what would happen when these two guys came face to face. And in a sense, I could see Anthony Joshua trying to play the the good guy, trying to portray a certain image, but you could definitely tell he was bothered by it, and you could tell behind the scenes, he was real pissed off, and we're kind of seeing, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. Basically, we're seeing the image that his team and all of them wants to be portrayed. He's talking about, why do we have to trash talk each other? We're both champions. We can show level of respect. And judging by how quiet Joseph Parker was, it just seems like it was his team that was pushing the chin shit and all that, and trying to promote this fight. It didn't seem like it was coming from Joseph Parker. Now, it could be that Joseph Parker's just not a well-spoken guy, and he really doesn't know how to express himself, being shy and shit like that. But it really looked bad, and you had Eddie Hearn basically trying to punk these guys. He's sitting there like, oh, you guys had all this stuff to talk, blah blah, and why aren't you saying this now? We're face to face. So Eddie Hearn's trying to he's trying to hype this shit up. He's talking to the Duco Promotions guy, and Eddie Hearn dude need to sit down. He kind of been in this boxing shit too long. He's starting to think he a fighter. He's living through his fighters. But other than that, it was real professional, in my opinion. But Joseph Parker's just sitting there, stumbling on his words, and you definitely can tell that Anthony Joshua is the more well-spoken guy. They groomed him well, or maybe that's just who he was. He's a smooth talker. But hopefully Joseph Parker doesn't believe what his team's putting out, because for Joseph Parker to be talking about Anthony Joshua's chin, and how he's been knocked down and things of that nature, I don't really see him as the biggest puncher. I don't really see him to be able to bank on that factor in winning a fight. He will more likely have to bank on his boxing ability, because I don't really rate him as far as punching. Now if Deontay Wilder talking like this, he kind of got a little bit more merit to say them things. So we've seen the proof that he can, has devastating knockout power. But other than that, I'm looking forward to the fight. I like the fact that Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua continue to fight in the same month. We'll see Deontay Wilder's performance, and then we'll be able to match it up against Anthony Joshua performance. So it's gonna put a little bit of pressure on Anthony Joshua in a way, because he's coming second. If Deontay Wilder has a devastating knockout with Louis Ortiz, and then 3-4 weeks later we have Joshua facing Parker, and he goes to a split decision or a tight fight, that pushes Deontay Wilder's stock that much further. But at the same time, Deontay Wilder could have a bad fight, and Anthony Joshua see that, and that motivate him to have a better fight, so he can have that chip. So it's gonna put pressure on both fighters, and it's gonna put pressure on them to perform. So that's good for the fans. We're definitely gonna see guys come in the fight and make a statement. I definitely see Anthony Joshua trying to bottle up his anger. I definitely think it was more stuff that he wanted to let out, but he remained professional. He let the other guys talk and speak their piece. But I think they done, awaken a dog. I think Joshua's going in there to prove a point, and to the Duco promotions and Joseph Parker, all they keep talking about is the chin. I got to get back on that. And I'm surprised that like Joshua kind of alluded to this, but I think what he should have said to Joseph Parker is he's been tested. He's been in trouble like that. He's for somebody to get knocked down and then get back up and continue fighting a guy that can hurt you, and especially you add on the fact that you ain't got no gas in the tank. So for you to keep coming forward, after a guy putting you down, and knowing in the back of your head that, hey, this, if I fuck up, this guy can hurt me, and keep throwing punches and continue, putting out a high punch value. I mean, that shows heart and determination. So, maybe Joseph Parker might have wanted to experience something like that before getting in a big fight like this, to just to know that, hey, I've been down this road, and I can overcome it. But other than that, I think Parker has a slight chance to give Joshua problems. But if he fights the way that I'm thinking he's gonna fight, which is trying to catch Anthony Joshua and getting exchanged with him, I don't see how that's gonna work for him, and he's not the biggest puncher in my opinion. So that's my thoughts, and and I want to get into another thing. Joseph Parker talking about and his team talking about, we want to fight the best, we want to fight all these guys. Then why don't you get in there with Wilder when you had a chance? You could have unified with him. It's about money. So I just want to put that in there, man. Make sure you like, comment, and definitely subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.